What's up, guys? Welcome back to day 11 of my trade journal, where I'm trading only S&P 500 futures, and I'm trading one system, one ticker every single day for a full year. And I'm going to try to journal every session to track progress, reflect, and sharpen my execution. So if you're serious about building consistency and treating trading like a business, you're in the right place. Stick around, and at the end, I'll break down key levels that I'm watching for tomorrow. So this is the key level from Friday, and they work pretty well today. 6460 on ES. If you watch that area for today, if you just bought at that area, easily caught a 10-point bounce from there. There were a few times where we did lose the level and it did go down a little bit, but if you have a 10-point stop loss there, you would have been fine. And that's kind of the key of it. Usually when it hits that level, sometimes it does drop a little bit under, but as you can see, as long as the body of the candle is above it, that still holds pretty well. So I would say we're bullish. We're going to keep the level pretty similar, so stick around to the end of the video and I'll go over that. For today, I made about 220 before fees. After fees, it was 199.20 cents. Win rate was around 76. Um, Today was a pretty tricky day with a lot of market structure shifts a lot, but I noticed that usually I do really well toward a later part of the day after I get nice warmed up from trading. So what I've been doing is I've been taking only one contract, usually in the first or second trade, to get a good read in the market. Once I get a really good read in the market, I'll start going bigger contracts, sometimes two, sometimes three, and where I'm pretty confident in my move. And you can see in the P&L chart here where the first few trades are my losing trades, and then from there my P&L cumulatively continues to build up higher and higher, and that's just from having better successful trades. So everybody is different. I would say watch out how you're trading. It's good to kind of see these data points because it really knows what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and how to take advantage of that. So we'll go over the signals for today, for the VX algo as well, and we'll see how those play out. So 7 a.m. market structure flip bullish. So that was probably somewhere around here where market structure flip bullish, which means you want to buy all the dips, right? And then by 9:58, so from here to here, you want to keep buying the dips. So if you bought the dip here, it would have played out. Bought the dips here and here, would have played out, right? And then 9:58 was when market first went bearish. So that was somewhere in like the low of this candle here. That was when market went bearish. And even though market went bearish, you don't want to short at that super bottom there because we haven't lost that 6460 level yet. So you want to wait for that MOB zone to short. So this is a good MOB short here. I took some shorts around here as well. I made money there, but this MOB short was a pretty good short. And then 9:58, we also had an ES X3 sell signal, which was also a higher confirmation for me as well to know that if we move back up, I'm going to short it. I'm going to be able to hold it. This was a little bit scary because we ran way past the MOB, only to get faked out and push all the way down. And then 11:30, we also had another sell signal. That was an NQDD sell signal, and that also played out pretty good. That was over here. That signal also kind of came at the bottom. So if you short the bottom, definitely would have been a struggle to make money. But if you wait for the resistance, you add position like here, or even here. If you add position, you would have made out like a bandit down here. You would have made good money. And then 12:30 was when market structure flipped bullish actually. So it was a little bit conflicting there actually. Um, but I would say for this scenario, the DD signals trump the market structure. Usually, otherwise, if you want to play strictly on the market structure, then when market structure is bullish, you want to buy the dip, right? So then, and now at this point, you want to flip long and you want to start buying the dip because market structure is bullish at 12:30 here. But I would say this is also one of those tricky days where market makers knew exactly at what point they would buy to get market structures to flip, and once they flip, they unload it right away. And that's the tricky thing about the market. Like the market is always messing with people's psychology. And today was one of those days, and that's why I decided to end my day early as well. But for the people that are playing the signals, they also worked out in a sense as long as your stop loss is reasonable, we are in a pretty tight range, and if you're buying 5 point or 10 point under it, you probably be okay, and you would still make money at the end of the day when that popped here, right? So today was one of those days where if you had no strategy and you just bought whatever, you could have made money as well. But if you were following Orb strategy or our strategy, there were definitely a lot of like mixed emotions there to throw you off and to kind of mess with you a lot as well. So then eventually, 2 p.m. market structure flipped bullish, which was somewhere right here. So this was good flip. You want to see market structure flip bullish when market is at the bottom. And then when market is over the MOB, that's when you have a true confirmation of a bullish flip. So this is where you want to buy. If you bought around here, you could have easily closed out here to here for 5 to 10 points. So it was not that bad. And at the end of the day, that signal worked out really well. Um, but I think there was actually a 230 bearish flip too. So I didn't track signals after 230, but I know the market is super manipulative today. So let's go over and look at levels for tomorrow. So levels for tomorrow I have are pretty similar to these levels. And the reason I'm keeping these levels because they're super efficient. They work really well so far. And until something change, I don't think we'll change them yet. So for tomorrow, I did move the bottom level up a little bit higher. So as long as we're above 60 or 460, I think this will be a support that we'll continue to see overnight or into tomorrow. And if this support gets broken, then over here is no man's land. It could chop in between this range. It doesn't mean it's extremely bearish or bullish yet. And then if only when we officially lose the 64.50, that's when we are truly bearish. So make sure to watch for that as your confirmation. As far as analyzing things on the moving average side, let's take a look real quick. I do think we have a probability of going downhill because we are seeing moving averages converge to that side, right? As you can see here on the 10 minute. And we're also seeing some on the 48 minute, possibly, or 30 minute converging as well to that downside. So what that means is that the market is moving lower, and if we continue to close lower lows and lower highs, that's bearish. We can converge and push this way. That's a possibility, but these levels need to be lost first. If those levels aren't lost, we'll just kind of stall here as support and we could push back up. So I hope that was helpful. Hope you guys had a great start of the week, and please thumbs up and continue to subscribe and stop by for more. Thank you for watching and have a great day.